Okay, so next let's get a sort option added into our filter fields here as well. So let's hide our browser back away. Let's go ahead and move this method into a service to clean up our index method here a little bit. So if we dive into our services, we already have a movie service. So let's go ahead and give this query here a copy, jump into our movie service. Most of what we have within here, if not everything, is from when we were reading individual files. So we can go ahead and get rid of all of the methods that we have in here as they're no longer in use. And it looks like we can get rid of all of the imports there as well. Cool. So let's add in a static method to this service called getFiltered. We already know it's for our movies because we're inside of the movie service. So we'll leave movies out of the title. Then for right now, all that we need to do is accept in our filters. This will be a type of record, string as the key, and any as the value. And then let's go ahead and paste our query inside of here. We're going to leave async off of this method, and we're not going to await it inside of here. Instead, we'll just directly return back. And what this will do is instead return back from this method a type of model query builder. Right now, we don't have that because we have some red squigglies to take care of first. But by returning back our model query builder, rather than the executed query, which we'd get by awaiting this query, we're going to give ourselves the exact same looking logic within our controller, but we'll also provide ourselves the option to expand off of the query within our controller if needed as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a find and replace for our QS because we've now called this our filters. Replace that. And then we need to import our movie model. So we can click anywhere within there and hit Command dot to open up our quick fix options and click on add import from models movie. Give it a save and everything should be back to happy. Let's go ahead and jump into our movies controller. And now we can select up to just our movie query, leaving the const movies equals await. And we can now do movie service and import that from our services movie service. Since we made this a static method, we don't need to instantiate a new instance of the service, and we can just directly call getFiltered, providing in our query string filters. So now let's define our sort options. So let's jump back into our movie service. And let's do a static property on here. So static sort options equals an array. And inside of this array, we'll define objects. For each of these objects, we'll have an ID just so that we can uniquely identify the individual option to use the field in the sort direction for the option within our getFiltered query. So for our ID, let's first say we want to sort by title ascending. So we could do title as ascending there. Then we'll do a text of title ASC, field title, and dir as ASC. So as you can see, we're just kind of building out a select option that contains the ID value for the option, the text value for the option, and then the underlying field and direction that we would use inside of our query to add in the order by clause. Okay, let's next do ID, title, descending, text, title, descending, field will be title, and dir will be descending. So let's first get these two working and showing up on our form, and then we'll take a look at adding others as well. So we have our const movies, movie statuses. Now we need our const movie sort options equals, and we can just grab that directly off of our movie service as sort options and pass that in here. So movie sort options. Now that we're passing that into our page state, we can jump into our index page. Let's give this form input here a copy where we have our select and paste just below it. We'll switch the label here to sort. We'll go ahead and have the name be sort as well. For this one, it's going to need to sort by something. So we'll go ahead and remove the all, and we'll loop over our movie sort options. And we'll just normalize this field name into just item. So item, filters dot, and we call this field name sort. So that's what it will be within our filters. So we'll call it sort there as well. And then from status to item there too. Okay, so if we give this a save, jump into our browser, we should now see a second select for our sort. Okay, we have undefined and undefined. And that actually makes sense because the options that we built don't have a name, but rather a text property. And let's jump back into our browser once more. And there we go. So now we have title ascending and title descending. If we switch our sort to title descending and hit search, we see it get added into our filter fields, sort equals title underscore descending. So now we just need to add it into our movie query so that it's actually used and applied. So let's jump back into our movie service where we are now passing it into our filters because this is grabbing just straight from our query strings. So let's do const sort equals, and we're either going to want to grab the applied item out of our sort options by its ID, matching whatever we have within our filters.sort field, or default to the first sort options item. So here we can do this sort options dot find option where option dot ID equals our filters dot sort. Otherwise, we'll just default to this sort options and the first item. Give that a save. It'll break that down into a new line. Let's give ourselves another new line there just to split the two. And okay. So now we either find an item within our sort options that's applied via our filter sort value, or we'll just default to the first item within our sort options. So we should always have a value here for our order by. So we could do sort dot field and then sort dot dir for our direction. And once we get here, we're going to see that sort.dir is not happy within our order by because the order by specifically has a type of ascending, descending, or undefined. And if we take a look at our sort type, you can see all of the values here are of type string. So we'll need to normalize our sort options into a type. So up here at the top of our service file, let's do type movie sort option equals object, our ID of type string, text of type string. And then for our field, we can hone in on the types a little bit and just do key of our movie model. And then we have dir, and we'll just have this match the same types needed for our order by clause. So we'll do ascending or descending or undefined. Okay, with that defined, we just want to apply that to our sort option as an array for the type. So we'll do movie sort option array there. All of our current members already fulfill that type requirement, so we're a-okay there. And if we scroll down now, so too is our actual order by. So we should be able to give this a save, jump back into our browser. Let's go ahead and give the page here a refresh. And there we go. So we are now looking at the inverse side of our titles where we're starting with what looks like W's, going into V and then T. And then if we switch this back to title ascending, give it a search, we're now right back to the original items that we've been looking at all along. If we go back to our one filter, so just those containing something to the sort of a one, we're looking at that in alphabetical order there. Switch now to descending, and there they are in the descending order. So let's add one more property here to our sort options. So we'll do an object here with ID released at, and we'll do ascending text, release date, and ascending here just to note for ourselves. Field released at, and dir is ascending. All right, we'll do the flip side. So ID released at descending text, release date, descending, field released at, and dir is now descending. So we can give that a save, jump back into our browser, give our page a refresh, and now we should be able to sort these by the release date ascending, just like so, and the release date descending. If we apply that to just those that have already released, now we're seeing a list of movies with one somewhere in the title with a status of released, from the most recently released to the oldest released. And then if we switch to the ascending, we will then see the oldest released to the most recently released.